Maria, thank you for seeing what this needed to be. I still remember how grateful and happy she was as she was saying those words. Earlier this year, something happened that, honestly, I'm still processing. A customer of mine, her name's Jennifer, thanked me for letting her pay $500 for her daughter's birthday cake. Not a wedding cake, okay? Not some corporate thing, a 10-year-old's birthday party. Today, I'm walking you through the exact conversation we had, how I raised my prices in my cake business, and still get customers to thank me for it. Hey everyone, I'm Maria Haversham, and a few years ago, I was charging $50 for cakes and literally apologizing while taking their money. Now customers are thanking me for charging 10 times more than that. What changed wasn't my piping skills or my fondant game. You'll see clearly in this video what it is. So allow me to walk you through exactly what happened with Jennifer. So first you need to understand who called me. Jennifer, she found me through Instagram, which by the way is a whole nother recipe for success that we'll stir up another time. But here's what happened. Her daughter Emma was turning 10. And Jennifer kept saying double digits like it was this massive milestone, which, okay, it is, but there was something else. See, Emma had been through it this year. Parents divorced, messy one too. New school because of the custody arrangement, lost her whole friendship group because of the move. And Jennifer's voice, you guys, when she was telling me, I could hear her trying not to cry. She goes, I just need this birthday to be perfect, like really perfect. I want to make her happy. She's been through a lot. I still want to be a good mom for her. It stirred something up in me, you know? Jennifer wasn't calling me for eggs and flour and sugar assembled into tears. She wasn't even calling for a cake, really. She was calling because she needed someone to create a moment where Emma felt like the main character again. Where she wasn't the girl whose parents got divorced or the new kid. She needed magic. And honestly, that's not a $50 cake conversion. That's not even a $200 cake conversion. And I believe you'd agree with me. It's during these moments that most cakepreneurs mess up their recipe completely. They jump straight to flavors and filling. Do you want chocolate or vanilla? No, no, no. That's like trying to frost a cake that's still warm. It's just not gonna work. For the first 10 minutes, I kid you not, full 10 minutes, I never mentioned cake, not once. Instead, here's what I asked, and write this down if you're taking notes. Tell me about Emma. Like, really tell me about her. And Jennifer starts talking about how Emma loves butterflies, but not in a little kid way, more like she's obsessed with metamorphosis. Interesting, right? Then I asked, what does Emma need to feel right now? Not what does she want? What does she need to feel? There's a difference, and it's huge. Jennifer got quiet for a second, and then she said, safe, special, like she matters. My next question, and this is the secret ingredient that most people miss. If this birthday could give Emma one emotional gift, not a physical thing, but like a feeling she could keep, what would it be? That's when Jennifer started actually crying. She said, I need her to know that she's still magical, that even though everything has changed, she's still my magical girl. And I was sitting here in my kitchen looking at my mixer and I'm thinking, this is not about cake. This is about transformation. This is about, it's like when you're building a wedding cake and every tier has to support not just the weight above it, but the whole story, you know? So then, and this is where it gets interesting, I completely reframed what we were creating. And listen, this isn't some sales tactic I learned from a course. This is just seeing what's happening. Like when you realize your oven runs hot and suddenly all your timing makes sense. I said, Jennifer, let's not sugarcoat this. This isn't just a birthday cake. This is Emma's comeback cake. This is her, I'm still the main character of my own story moment. Every single kid at that party, every parent, they're going to remember Emma as the girl with the absolutely incredible magical cake. Not the girl whose parents, you know. They're going to remember the butterflies and the gold and think, wow, Emma must be really special to have a cake like that. And Jennifer, she literally gasped. She goes, yes, that's exactly what I want. Now stay with me here because this is important. Notice that we haven't talked about flavors yet, haven't discussed size, servings, nothing about the actual cake part. That's because we're not selling cake. How do I explain this? We're architecting a memory. We're building confidence in buttercream form. I kept going. I said, this cake is going to tell a story. Every photo, and there will be dozens of photos, is going to show Emma surrounded by beauty and magic. Years from now, when she looks back at turning 10, she won't remember it as the year everything fell apart. She'll remember it as the year she had the most incredible birthday cake anyone had ever seen. All right, now that you know all of that, it's time to present your offer, your solution. But this is also where I see cakepreneurists just completely fold like overmixed batter. They start proposing options. Well, we could do this or we could do that. What do you think? No, stop whisking right there. You're the expert. You're the one who knows how to create magic with sugar and butter. So prescribe, don't propose. It's like, when someone asks you how to fix their frosting that's split, you don't give them 5 options. You tell them exactly what they need to do, right? So I said, Jennifer, based on everything you've shared, here's what Emma needs: the enchanted garden design. And let me layer this for you promptly. 3 tiers, but not just any 3 tiers. The bottom is going to be this gorgeous sage green, like a secret garden vibe. Hand-painted vines that look like they're growing up the middle of the cake. The middle tier, soft lavender with sugar butterflies, and I mean butterflies that look like they could fly away at any second, like they're just resting there for a moment. And the top, pure white with edible gold leaf details, because Emma deserves to literally shine. I kept going, and this is important. I was painting the picture for her. Each tier represents Emma's journey. The green foundation is her roots, her strength has always been there. The purple with the butterflies, that's her transformation, her metamorphosis through this tough year. And the white gold on top, that's her emerging beautiful and stronger than before. The cake itself will be vanilla cloud cake, light enough to taste like joy, but substantial enough to anchor the entire room. Swiss meringue buttercream so that it's smooth and looks porcelain. And Jennifer, here's the thing. Nobody else is going to tell you this. This isn't decoration. This is architecture of a memory. I didn't ask, does that sound good? I said, this is what will create the transformation Emma needs. Now, I know it's lingering in your mind, so let's cut to the cake here and talk about pricing. This is where that voice in your head starts up, right? The one that's like, who am I to charge that much? Yeah, I had that voice on repeat for like 2 years. But here's what I've learned, and this is pure gold, so listen up. I said, Jennifer, creating Emma's transformation moment, this is a $500 investment. Investment, not cost, not price, investment. Because here's what it is. She's investing in her daughter's emotional well-being. She's investing in a memory that'll last forever. She's investing that photos that'll be on the wall, in albums, shared with family for years. But I didn't stop there, I continued. This investment includes a 2-hour design consultation, which we're already doing. It includes a hand-drawn sketch that Emma can keep in her room, frame if she wants. She'll have some proof that someone spent hours thinking about how to make her feel special. It includes the 3-tier cake that I promise you will be photographed more than any gift she ever receives. Every adult at that party will ask you who made it. Every kid will remember it. But more than that, and Jennifer, this is the real buttercream that holds it all together. It includes Emma feeling like the most special, most loved, most celebrated person in the room on a day when she really, really needs that. Then I added something that I only started adding recently. Jennifer, I only take on cakes where I can truly deliver transformation. I could make you a pretty $200 cake, but it wouldn't do what Emma needs. This investment, it's not about the ingredients or my time. It's about the outcome. It's about Emma. You know what Jennifer said? Can I book you for next year too? Okay, so the party happens, I deliver the cake, and honestly, even I was proud of how it turned out. Like, you know when you nail the Swiss meringue on the first try and it's just perfect? That feeling? But the next day is when I literally almost cried in my kitchen. Jennifer sends me this message, and I'm going to read it for you word for word because this is why we do what we do. Maria, I don't even know how to thank you. Emma hasn't stopped talking about her cake. She asked if we could frame a photo of it for her room. Her dad, who never notices anything, who forgot her birthday last year, he pulled me aside and asked who made it. He said it was the most beautiful cake he'd ever seen. But here's what really got me. That if someone cared enough to make her a special cake, she must be pretty special too. Thank you for seeing what this needed to be, not just what I asked for. Worth every penny and more. Worth every penny and more. She thanked me for charging $500 because, and this is a thing that'll make your timer go off, I delivered $5,000 worth of emotional value, maybe more. How do you even price a child feeling magical again? So here's the real crumb of it all, and I need you to really let this sink in like simple syrup into a cake layer. Premium pricing isn't about your piping skills. It's not about having the fanciest equipment or the most Instagram-worthy workspace. I was doing this from my cramped kitchen with a mixer I got secondhand. It's about understanding the emotional job your cake needs to do. When you can see past the flour and sugar to the actual transformation you're creating, that's when price becomes irrelevant to the right client. Jennifer wasn't buying eggs and flour and butter. Let's be real. She could get a cake at the grocery store for $30. She was buying proof that her daughter's life was still magical despite the chaos. She was buying a moment of triumph in a year of struggles. She was buying the ability to give her daughter something else that nobody could give her. The feeling of being utterly, completely, magnificently celebrated. And here's what's wild. Once you start seeing cakes this way, once you realize you're not a baker, you're a creator of moments, a maker of memories, an architect of joy, you can never go back to charging $50 and apologizing. I mean, think about it. A therapist costs $200 an hour to help someone feel better. A photographer charges $500 to capture memories. You're doing both. You're creating the memory and the moment. You're providing emotional transformation in edible form. All right, your whisk turn. I want you to comment below and really think about this. What emotional transformation do your cakes create? Not what they're made of, not how many layers, but what feeling do they deliver? Because once you can articulate that, once you can see it clearly, like when your buttercream is exactly the right consistency, that's when everything changes. And listen, if you want to see more of the behind the scenes and how I started and run my cake business, like the exact questions I asked, the phrases that led to grateful premium clients paying happily, I'll leave you with more resources to explore below this video. Because here's the thing, and this is important, you're already good enough. If you can make a decent cake for friends and family, you already have the skills. What you need isn't better piping technique or fancier equipment. What you need is to understand that you're not selling cakes. You're creating transformations. You're delivering joy. You're architecting memories. Stop selling ingredients. Start creating magic. And start charging what that magic is actually worth. Because somewhere out there is a Jennifer who needs what you can create. She's not looking for cheap. She's looking for someone who gets it, who sees what this cake needs to be, not just what she's asking for. Be that person. I promise you the money follows the transformation, not the other way around. Now go forth and charge what you're worth, Cakepreneur. It's time to stop playing small and start creating magic. My name is Maria, and I'll see you in the next one.